A lot has happened this week in the world of the Wade wives. We got to see phone calls from prison actually posted the video visit between him and his father right after he committed what he did, and more women were revealed. And I couldn't help but notice this is one of his baseline behavioral traits. When he tends to feel shame, he puts his head down and he rocks back and forth. It wasn't just an act, it was also when he heard things he didn't like.
Listen, why are you in the goddamn suit?
Well, can I honestly tell you, because I thought nobody was gonna like help me out, Dad, and they feed me better in here. So if I swear to God, they give me bigger trays. So if I don't get any canned feed, at least I can eat.
It was a very sad call. I felt extremely bad for his father. He is a hero. He also did the rocking thing when he learned that he would be in prison for life. I don't know how he didn't know that.
So what did listen, man? What did Kenny and Steve say when you talked to her?
She cried.
She's devastated.
She cried.
I know.
She cried.
Yeah, I know.
Okay?
Man.
I didn't talk to Steve, but she cried.
I know. How dare?
She cried all night.
The Channel Duty Ron had an excellent interview with his ex Mila, and he pointed out a very interesting fact that when the judge said you may approach, he also approached with the attorneys, which I've never seen a defendant do this. It's such a cringe and strange thing. I don't know what he was thinking, but we got to see Mila talk about their relationship, and she describes the whole love bombing process very accurately.
Once I got with Wade, everybody kind of looked at me like, have you ever met somebody that something's just not right with and you don't exactly know what? He's handsome, sweet, perfect, charming, funny. Usually guys like him are assholes, okay? And that's what made him different and made something feel off. Like, I knew I was 10 years older.
We don't have ladies chained anywhere. There's no beds.
She talked a little bit about how she had boundaries and he would have never acted with her like he did with his little German friend, because clearly he doesn't respect that woman at all.
That's his preference, as we hear from our German friend, the shit stirrer, so to speak.
This just makes me think about the people who are so adamant about no dog doo-doo on their lawn. I think that we need a sign in front of his cell. And I couldn't help but think about the phone calls with his father. I think he wants to prove to his father he has game.
You're a dumbass! You dumb bitch!
Just remember when you shit on me, Dad. Every time you shit on me.
There were so many women that were revealed, and this is a rare glimpse into the life of a narcissist and how they juggle various women, because he tells each one the same story. I'm here on the floor with no food, and he tells them he wants to marry them.
All the women in the world are like on TikTok talking about like I'm the finest thing they've ever seen. That's
a lot of money. Yeah, they're gonna be getting at least $7,000 to $10,000 off of your report. Because they record them. They have them all recorded and they post them and they repost them. And the more views they get paid more.
What, by the...
You have 1 minute remaining.
By the channel?
First of all, the woman that he's talking to seems to think that content creators are millionaires, and he seems very upset about the fact that people are making money off of him, but I think that if he truly saw the type of coverage he was getting and how they make him look like a fool, he would be devastated.
They say that I'm the most sought after inmate in the world right now. What's wrong with these fucking people?
Speaking of being sought out, Wade's teeth are the way that they are because of other inmates, because they don't like him and he will never do well in general population.
Once I marry you for real.
Dude, we're married, dude.
We're getting married, baby.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
Wade still doesn't seem to realize that these calls are recorded and everybody can listen to them. It makes me think of his dad when he said, "It's public record, son." because he was asking like, how do they know about my phone call with you? He's just dumb. He's a low IQ person that doesn't get things easily.
I do have little psycho tendencies, but
you're gonna make sure that I fucking lock you in first, and then you're gonna be like, check this out. You'll be like, ah.
I like how that lady says that she will be that psycho girl when she clearly already is. And some people have actually speculated that she is the one that interviewed Jesse. So to me, this is extremely hot tea because I can't imagine how humiliated Jesse must have felt because of this. And there's definitely a reaction that comes from this. Although originally I thought that the woman might have had a southern accent and the one interviewing her had a New York accent. I definitely hear some of the same pronunciation on words, so I definitely think that it is the same woman.
I will be that psycho fucking girl.
Oh my god.
There were phone calls released of 3 different ladies, but this one shown is one of the thirsty TikTokers who was like, my butt is wet, because that's what he used as his lame pickup line. But I think that the humiliation of this was a little bit too much for Jessie because she really thought that they were getting married and they were engaged. And I think that whoever does lock it down with him and he gets the marriage license with is gonna be the one, so to speak, because it seems like he tends to throw this around. So Jessie did go from still defending him and acting like she's an activist and she is against people being put down for their crimes. But once the second phone call came out, it was a bit too much for her, and then she proceeded forward with deleting what she had posted about him prior.
I wish you well.
I wish you well. In hell.
The first thing that was deleted by Jessie was actually the Twitter within hours of the phone calls being released, and I took this screenshot myself. I thought it was very interesting that she got so upset. I was sort of on the fence wondering if she is gonna stand by his side no matter what, if she's that desperate, or if she's just gonna be like, no, this is too much.
Like, they showed up. You have 1 minute remaining.
I hate that lady. I'm just going to state it for the record right now. I hate that lady. But
State it for the record.
The Funly was next, and even though she did say that she planned on not accepting donations anymore, it was still very satisfying to watch it go down because I love when they all turn on each other. And then some pages popped up which were speculated to be fake pages, and I don't know if the bullying page is actually legit or anything, but then it seemed like somebody put up a merch site of some of the ugliest merch that I've actually ever seen in my life. This person has terrible taste, so I do still question if this is Jessie, and because like I just can't see anybody else doing this. But I do think that the Amanda phone call was a bit too much, considering that Amanda actually interviewed her, and that's what we're gonna listen to next.
The reason for keeping your relationship a secret was not to trick or deceive people into thinking he was single, thinking they had a chance with Wade. It was just to try to protect you from the scrutiny.
That was our main reason. Now, I don't want to lie. I don't think we would have nearly gotten the donations that we have received, unfortunately, if it wasn't for people thinking that Wade was single.
I looked everywhere for photos of Amanda, and this was the only thing that I could find, which was on Reddit. Some people also speculated that another woman could be a contender, but I think that she's just a thirsty TikToker. There's not much that we can gain from this photo. And then this is actually the other woman who is in the goblin category to me. Another theme from these phone calls was the fact that he wants all of them to get Wade Wilson tattoos, which many of them did, and this makes me think of the NXIVM girls, how they were told that they'll be in an exclusive club if they brand themselves, and one woman actually doxed herself by filing a court matter and saying, oh, Miss Tahanika is always being bullied and I'm in fear because of the Reddit anonymous people. So she just basically exposed herself, and she's a sergeant in the Air Force, so she has a job that would be in jeopardy. I actually work for the government, and you have to take an oath that you don't do things that conflict. More thirsty TikTokers also revealed themselves, and one of the next ones I felt was a bit disturbing because of the way she's dressed, and I'm not shaming anybody for their attire, but I think that there's certain things that you should probably leave to the imagination or keep private, and the front of her pants is probably one of them, but it's just in line with the people that Wade finds. Wade and Jesse made the prison staff feel extremely unsafe and uncomfortable when they were talking about jailbreaking his tablet, and she was asking him for the serial numbers, so they shut down his communications. And I can imagine that the Wade wives or Wade widows were extremely desperate to get some attention during this time, because clearly they have no hobbies or friends or family or interests or accomplishments that bring them any kind of joy in life, so they have to depend on the attention of a prisoner because they could never get anybody decent looking on the outside. Wade, of course, went to his little minion, Courtney, to tell her to tell people that he can talk, and then Andrea doxed herself, but part of me does believe that she's innocent and maybe this isn't the same person, because I feel like guilty people usually wouldn't dox themselves, so I'm waiting a little bit longer, although the Air Force chick did dox herself, but she's just stupid. That's a whole different story though. The thing that was definitely weird about Andrea though was that she posted on a lesser known channel, and I don't see what these women see in him looks wise, but when it comes to his actual pickup lines, they're so lame. Like when he was talking about the chicken nuggets, I'm just like, what? Like, huh? And this is what they enjoy about him?
Now you're eating chicken tenders. From Chick-fil-A.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the chicken tender, goddammit. You know who I'm talking about.
Wade tends to go for vulnerable girls, but I love thinking about what might have happened if he ran into somebody that's just like him. Maybe this would have had a different ending. Before Jesse got so incredibly butthurt that it led to Armageddon of the Wade wives, she ended up embarrassing herself more by filing several lawsuits. She has some against some of the other Wade wives and some against the actual police department and the jail, because she said that it was their fault that these phone calls got released, but they claim in their response that they have no responsibility over who does what with them and what third parties. I can just imagine all the cops laughing at her because this is just so sad and weird. This fan photo will also haunt my nightmares. What a freak. I mean, really, all of these women that are so in love with people like this just disgust me so much. I can't even describe it. Something is just very wrong with them. I hardcore judge them because they really do need some help and some hobbies. Courtney had also upset Wade by telling him to chew on it and chew on her doo-doo, which is what he said to the German in the call. So he was like, forget it, we're not friends anymore, I don't like you anymore. She is always making excuses for him.
I don't care if that was your boyfriend. No. I don't care because he's in jail. I don't want him.
Why the fuck you lying?
The confession was pretty damning. You know, it's not looking good for him, but what if, you know?
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
What if the man confessed, and he confessed for McDonald's ultimately, which he didn't even end up getting, so I don't know what further evidence they actually need. He showed up in the victim's car with her cell phone. And then Courtney was asked recently on an interview with another YouTube channel what would actually cause her to not want to be Wade's friend anymore, and she said that he would need to say something bad about her kids. But that just shows me that she has no empathy for the kids of the victim Diane, because she should extend the same compassion and support to them. And as for the obsessive fans, some did end up branding themselves and following through, such as this individual, which is very sad to me. I don't understand why they would take these measures. As well, there were some that were caught in public and they were roughed up. So they were technically in danger, which I can't blame the people that came for them, because they should not be supporting this person, and it's just terrible all around. I go by Ultra, and this is my backup channel, Wild Ideas Media. Thank you so much for making my dreams come true. We'll be able to apply for the early partner milestone soon, once I have a third video in 90 days, and we're so close to the actual partner milestone. I can't believe it. I've gotten so many questions about this channel. It's just me. I'm not a paid actress. My background is in architecture, design, and planning, so I'm pretty good at presentations and the artsy stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye guys.